in the Motor City. Always powerful energy. I guess it's just amazing. The place where people suffer the most, the energy is up. I know there have been some hard times up in this baby. Go to Cleveland, it's off the hook. You know, places like that, you know, Philadelphia, you know, hard time, you know. New York is a whole nother energy, you know. It's a whole nother energy. That's, you got so many factions coming at you at one time and all, you know. But always, I've never had a bad lecture here. I mean, it's always off the hook. And that's because of the energy and all, you know, Detroit. And it's got something sacred. I said, you know, Elijah Muhammad started out here, you know, who else? A lot of people. You know, I'm talking about, you know, on the conscious level. A couple of people.
We ran Elijah out of here, though.
Yeah, I know. But it's you know, it's always, you know, and I think that also, like the brother was saying, that, you know, they purposely destroyed this city. And there's some book out, there's some book about white men, that 70-year plan, I think starting from the early teens or the early 1920s, a 70-year plan to basically reroute this city back to a white supremacist plateau, you know, and they talk about it. Yeah, and 70, you know, probably succeeded too. And I know Atlanta is the same way, you know, real powerful and all. It just went white in the 90s, pretty much, you know, pretty much in the 90s and stuff, you know. One of the main keys is not necessarily, see, the foolishness is not necessarily the black elected officials and stuff. That's a decoy because they don't have no power no way. Is when you wipe out the doggone black businesses. That's when you're really doing some stuff. And so in Atlanta, there are no black businesses on that level, you see. You know, they on a certain level and all. You know, you got them surviving, but when you wipe out that business structure, that's when you know that's when they're really trying to, you know, do something and all. So it ain't about no elected official. They putting a black face and stuff and giving a nigga a new job. You know how that stuff goes and stuff. So anyway, always powerful. We're going to pour libations to the Congo rights that we talked about. And then also, the Congo rights gave rise to about 6 other spirits came out of these and stuff from a whole other outside dimension in March. In March, 6 other spirits came. March or April, I think it was April. One of them is a Congo form of Horus, real powerful and all, you know. So you women at night, if you lonely, you can call on this brother, and if you worthy and all, you might have a good time. You know. I know he done got busy with some other sisters across the country and all, you know. Just think of a big old black African. You know, look about like that brother on the look like that brother on the Moor, you know, the Moorish calendar, that big poster of the Moor with the white on, you know, look like that brother, you know. You see, you know, you old black nigga, you know. That's Kakumbo, that's his name, Kakumbo. He's a Congo form of the Horus, and I'm getting, you know, bad brother, you know, and for some reason he's all about. You think that the warrior aspect, you know, we trained that hero would be a form with a slaying energy, but he's basically the ultimate lover. So in so many words, it's like the Count Dracula mythology, you know. Count Dracula is about the ultimate lover, you see what I'm saying, which is the same Dionysian mythology redone by Bram Stoker and all. And if you got the Bram Stoker's edition of the movie, it was not less horror as it was romantic and all. And that is the Osirian aspect. So the warrior aspect is basically more of a romantic type thing, you know what I'm saying, than it is this cosmic fighter and stuff like that and all. I'm quite sure that has its merits and stuff, but I think in this particular case they're talking about tearing down the matrix, which this is an illusion. So basically the fighting or the warfare is basically the romantic warrior. And it goes on to even say in the book, what's the guy's name? The Sword and the Flute book, or either in the book called Hindu Goddess. I mentioned the guy's name, David Kinsley. And in there where they talk about Shiva, because Shiva is the same aspect of that deity. Shiva, Rudra, Dionysus, Osiris, Bacchus, Phanes. These are just different renditions of the return of Horus and Heru. This is the different renditions of the same cosmic Christ, the Christ that is to return of the end times and all. And in that book he talks about how Shiva in this particular case is one of the only people that only brothers that can satisfy Kali. Kali is an ultimate feminine energy and all, and she takes heads of males and puts the skulls around her belt. She is so powerful and all. The only person is able to even just pacify her. Ultimately, you can't overcome her, but just pacify her is Shiva. And they get in a dance contest, but you know what that kind of dance they talking about. They ain't talking about no disco float. They talking about knocking some boots. And so they get in the dance contest, and as a result, she's pacified by Shiva. So that's what this big black warrior from the Congo, Africa, is called Kemetic. So it's a whole lot of sexual energy come by him, and I'll give you the correct spelling in a few minutes and all. And I'll tell you the history behind it too. You just have to substitute the names. But anyway, we're going to approach the Congo spirits, and I'm going to let them do it and all, because they kind of get a little, they like to share the flow by themselves. So I'm going to give them Detroit this time and all. Give them Detroit all this time. And I guess, just basically be done with them right now. And the other 6 that brought forth, and that should be able to do it. And we do the invocation to Sekhmet. And this is interesting about these particular books, because this is Robert Master's book, The Goddess Sekhmet, which now is going on the internet for like $150 hardback and almost $80 for this paperback, which was like $12.95 back in 91 or 92. So, so that's this. It's just interesting how when these books go out of print and all. Robert Masters, and it's interesting because Robert Masters was married to the woman that was Hillary Clinton's astrologer. What's the name of that lady? What was the name of that lady? She was Hillary Clinton's astrologer. Isn't it interesting that you got Nancy Reagan is doing the astrology thing, and Hillary Clinton has her soothsayer. What's the name of this woman? Anyway, this woman was married to Robert Masters, and she did a book called The Passions of Osiris and The Passions of Isis and Osiris. I think that's the name of it, The Passions of Isis and Osiris. And but it's interesting because she was this guy, he uses geromancy, and he only has 2 people in his bibliography, geromancy and Budge, but he uses geromancy. But it's interesting that she's married to Robert Masters. I can't think of her name right now, but failed to use geromancy in her bibliography. But it's still an excellent book, and all. So that's just one of the things we have when things go out of print. You can get a little more information on her, on the whole Sekhmet energy in the book that did come back in print. Ancient Egypt, the Sirius Connection by Murray Hope. In the back, there's a whole section called Lion Power. Lion Power, Ancient Egypt, the Sirius Connection by Murray Hope, which is a good book. And so we'll do this invocation. So let me spit a little rum right now, but I'm going to get in the center so I don't spit on your books.
Okay.
It's on the tape too, ain't it? I spit everything. I see somebody be around the corner and wiping off the books and stuff. So
you want a cup? Or, You want a cup or?
Well, I can pour them a little bit now, but this is so cheap, man. It's only like $12, or $7 or whatever. So this rum and all, but it doesn't really matter and all. So
okay.
Let's do this. I'm just gonna take a little small sip. All right. Zarabanda, Zarabanda, Zarabanda. Ashe. Ashe. El Cristo Negro,
Ashe.
La Santísima Muerte,
Ashe.
Amashola,
Ashe.
San Simon,
Ashe.
La Santísima Pedra Imas,
Ashe.
La Spiritus and Tranquilas,
Ashe.
Madre de la Luna,
Ashe.
Francisco de Sriti Reyes,
Ashe.
El Cristo Rey,
Ashe.
Madre de Agua.
Ashe.
And these gave away to 6 other entities coming from the outer universe. We'll deal with all that today. And one is called, the chief one is Kikumbo.
Ashe.
And the mistress is Lokeo.
Ashe.
And there's a couple other ones, Otincha,
Ashe.
Omagumu,
Ashe.
Sheola,
Ashe.
Chiecha,
Ashe.
Shumala,
Ashe.
Ashe. Okay, and they do different tasks, right? They do different tasks. We'll find out what the task is later on as they become more and more activated. Right now what they're doing is I try to check on them every day, and they try to basically, they're gathering up enough energy, so this thing is a process in work. But like I said, if this thing that I had, this heartbeat that came on, like I think the 2nd of January, and then in 2 weeks later matured from a baby to a full-grown adult inside of me, we're talking about real fast acting. So whatever they're doing and all, they are working with it. But one of the cheap ones is Cat Combo. And I think that's CHACUMBO. And I'm going ahead of myself. I'll give you the other one. I'll give you the other one. But for these particular ones, you know, that we have that. We have the catalog. If you got your catalog, let me see your catalog. We have the catalog here that has them on in the front cover on the turtle, near the turtle. Now this is interesting here because see, there's a lot of discrepancies coming up now based on the origin. Some say in the middle of Africa, the Native Americans say that they say the turtle cove is where man first stood up. Then you got some people saying that the Olmecs is saying that they got a mythology of a person first standing up. Based on prehistory, they talk about the earth being one landmass. Now, that means that the earth was one landmass. That means that you can have variations of this original origin, because we're talking about one landmass of people, including the Egyptians talk about this. I think even in the works of Thrice Great Hermes by G.R.S. Mead, they talk about the antediluvian world, which is after the deluge or the flood, but they also talk about before that particular deluge, and we talk about this one landmass, and also which is the white boys already proven now, called continental drift, or the whole tectonic plate series and all. So we have these particular entities up in here. Also, like I said, there's an article on the Olmecs aspect, some information on the Olmecs and stuff, and they're giving their rendition of their first rising of man. I think a lot of people, everybody have their own rendition of this and all. Like I said, I reprinted that Melanosis interview in here with me. A couple other things on the Moors, and there's a good article on Richard King up in here, as well as the picture of the original Greco-Roman. Like I said, the Greco-Roman, the Etruscan, which is brother looked like Isaac Hayes or whatever, and shit, with the big thick lip and all, you know. So that and last but not least, the comic book where they are harvesting black people that came out, I think, in the late 70s, which you can't get. Now this is worth the whole book itself just to have that type of comic book, and then the actual catalog. But we do have that particular the invocation to the invocation to we have the invocation to the libation list to the Congo rites, which is the one from Congo, Africa. So we want to start off right now. I want to give an invocation to Sekhmet. Like I said, what I can do, I don't know if I usually give this task and stuff, and they bum rush your house and all looking for stuff and all. But what I can do is we can leave this. It's only like a 2-page. It comes up about 2 pages side by side. It's the actual invocation to Sekhmet. But we can leave that behind. The book is out of print, and that's just basically what we do. We can always leave certain information behind and all. The book is out of print. But if you can get it and stuff, it's the Goddess Sekhmet by Robert Masters. is the name of the book and all, which is going for so high now. It's interesting because the hardback is $150, and I was up in New York at a used bookstore and saw a hardback copy for like $8, and didn't get the damn thing because I already had the book. And the Spirit told me right then to get it. You know, and that's a lot of times, you know, the Spirit always tell you to do something, and whenever you don't do it and all, you always regret it. Always regret it and stuff. So we're going to give the invocation to Sekhmet. Sekhmet, the lady of the place of the beginning of time. Sekhmet, whose essence is fire, tempestuous forever, great one of magic, grant me the success in my endeavor. Blessed be the name, O Sekhmet, beloved is her image. Now, we want to, this particular time of the rising of the star Sirius, the start from Leo on into August is the time of Sekhmet, or Sekhmet, the Sphinx. So, I would suggest that if you really want to get some power is to use her to write your own invocation out to the goddess, lion team goddess Sekhmet. If you write your own invocation out, you can gain more power. You can gain more power. One of the keys now here is if you still have a menstrual, but if you don't, because I'm running into a lot of sisters that still that no longer have the menstrual, it doesn't matter. If you can somehow calculate the dates and when you did have your menstrual cycle, you know, calculate the time. You say, well, you know, I had a certain menstrual cycle at a certain time. If you can just calibrate that, then you can still do the magic and all because you still have a cycle. You might not have you might not bleed anymore or whatever. It might not have the physical menstrual, but you still have a spiritual cycle. Because, you know, men have a cycle. You see, so basically you just calibrate the time that you did have the cycle. You still have a cycle. And then basically you would write out your own invocation. Now what we can do is we can leave this one behind and you can use this one. But any invocation you write out is most powerful. And basically what you do is you get you, and if you do have the cycle still, you know, whatever, doesn't matter, just get you a red bra, some red underwears. You see some red underwear, some red bra, and wear all red if you want to, but still the underclothes are red candle 7 day. And basically whatever you want, especially if you want somebody to quit fucking with you or whatever, you just basically write their name on the you write their name on the candle. You write their name on the a white piece of paper, then burn it. Then burn it on with the red candle, and then, you know, flush it down the toilet also. And that will do that. But also if you just want prosperity, then what you would do is you would fix you an altar. Get you a picture of Sekhmet. You put the red candle on the altar, the picture of Sekhmet on the altar. You get you a and what you do is you have on the red underwear, the red bra, you own your menstrual, and basically you write down what you want based on prosperity on a piece of paper. Mainly if you really want to make some things work, if you're going to leave it on the altar, when you burn, that's just a regular paper, preferably a brown paper bag that you write the red ink. But always write it in red ink. If you're going to burn that thing, you know, to get somebody from messing with you. But let's say if you want some prosperity and you're real serious, then you go get you some parchment paper. You know, you get you some parchment paper. Did I give out that one with the parchment paper before here last time, the money ritual? Right. Yeah. Well, this one here is another way you do it. You get you some parchment paper, just a little bit, and then, you know, and then you just basically take it and you write the goddess Sekhmet, Sekhmhet, and you write Sekhmet at the top of it, and you basically write what you need on the piece of paper, then put it on the altar with the red candle. And so it's best to do this when the cycle first comes on. You see what I'm saying? And then you burn the 7-day candle. And just you burn, and you complete the whole 7-day stays by burning the 7-day candle. And you do that, particular one, and that's one that is good for prosperity. Now the mystery here is why you don't get the prosperity is because a lot of times you jot down how much money you want. Money is very funny. The spirit world is looking, they know there might be 800 different types of currency. So they need to be specific. So when you ask money, you see what I'm saying, sometimes they get a little confused. Because there's all kind of currency. You know, so they don't know whether to give you some Japanese money or whatever type thing. So they get confused on that. So the key here in any prosperity is not necessarily how much money you need, but what you need done based on what you need financially taken care of. And that's how it works. So basically you, not only when you're doing it, you are to visualize what you need done. You see what I'm saying? Other than the actual currency, because currency is real funny. First of all, it's not real. It's trickery. It's all types of things. And so they basically have a lot of problems with that when they're trying to, the spirit realm, when they're trying to locate things and trying to get things done for you. So basically you be specific on what you need done based on finances. You see. And so basically just build her an altar and like I said, even if you don't have a period anymore, you did have a cycle and you just basically estimate. You see. But also too, if you don't have a period at all and you're going through the change of life and all, maybe your cycle is constant. So you can just do it anyway. I guess that's just the good thing about going through the whole thing. You can do it whenever the hell you want to do it and all. But for people who still have a cycle, you can just go ahead and do it whenever you have the cycle. The key here is you must demand this thing. You must be serious about it. You see, you must be serious about it. So you got to condition your mind that this shit is going to work and all because it has to be done. And there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. So that is a way also to do it. You know, also to do it. We'll give out the love ritual again. You know, the real good one. Did I give out the honey one the other time?
Yes.
I did? Okay then. You know, and but you know, we'll see what the deal is. You know, it's interesting. When I went to California, I was giving them up. I was making them up out my head, and all the ones that from the priest didn't work, but the ones that came out my head on the spot worked. And people was calling and saying, "Damn, them shits was working like hell." But what happened was, out in Los Angeles, what's happening is like Dr. Delbert Blair said, if it didn't exist, your mind couldn't think of it. So I wasn't really making nothing up anyway. We just don't have enough confidence in what is coming to us, and we thinking we making it up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But we're really not making it up at all. You see, so we're really not making it up at all. So I'll give a shout out to Sister Elaine is in the house. You know, she was the one that used to bring brought a lot of speakers. You know, in the mid and early 90s and stuff. You know, and all. You know, and then as usual, you know how that go and all. You know.
Yep.
Y'all don't support them, and the next thing you know, they high and dry. Niggas can leave your ass in the dark. But you best around and stuff. You be of service and all. You be shit. You have to go hit that, work on that trash truck. Yeah. So what's that? What you say?
What was that honey thing again? You said that was
okay. And for the people that didn't get it, no, we might as well do it, and then we'll give the invocation. Let me give the invocation, and as soon as I give the invocation, we'll go back to the people who didn't get that.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
Okay. The invocation of Sekhmet, as it was in Memphis, so be it now. Hear me, O beseech thee, O powerful one, Lady of Rekhet, Lady of Peket, Lady of Set, Lady of Reshuhi, Lady of Tekon Shihir, the mother of the rising of heavens in the boat of 1,000,000 years, thou art the overthrow, thou art the great defender, thou art the overthrow of Quetu. Preserve us from thy evil chamber, from the souls of Heserah. Deliver us from the abode of fiends. Thou who art, Sekhmet, life giver to the gods, Sekhmet, Lady of flame, Sekhmet, great one of magic, Sekhmet. Eternal is thy name, Sekhmet, oh hear me now, Sekhmet, with 9 in his head, Sekhmet, whose color is red, Sekhmet, daughter of Ra, Sekhmet, consort of Ptah, Sekhmet, mighty is thy name, oh hear me now, Sekhmet, goddess of pestilence, Sekhmet, goddess of war, Sekhmet, queen of the wasteland, Sekhmet, terrible is thy name, oh come to me, Sekhmet, destroyer of rebellion, Sekhmet, scorching eye of Ra, Sekhmet, protector, ruler, Sekhmet, holy is thy name, oh reveal thyself to thee, Sekhmet, mother of the gods, Sekhmet, mistress of the crown, Sekhmet, thou art the only one, Sekhmet, beloved is thy name. Possess me now, O great one. Sekhmet, greater than Isis. Sekhmet, greater than Hathor. Sekhmet, greater than Baz. Sekhmet, greater than Maya. And I'll tell you why they say that in a few minutes. Sekhmet, mysterious is thy name. Sekhmet, I am lost in mystery. Sekhmet, preeminent one. Sekhmet, light beyond darkness. Sekhmet, sovereign of her father. Sekhmet, hidden is thy name. Rapturous my dying. Lady of Ankh. Lady of Manu. Lady of Sa. Lady of Tephnut. Lady of heaven. Thou art the Amisher her. The destroyer, upholder. Thou art terror, before the fiends of Turba. Thou art lust, thou art life. Ever burning one, Tekahar Resharara, Parha Hemmitt, Sephit Pa'um Hesahara Hapu Tephnut, Mistress of enchantment, source of the word of power, forbidden is thy name. I am the sealed one. Do consume us with thy fire, give us light. Lady mighty than the God, adoration rises to me. O hail, lady, O hail thee, O lady mighty than the gods, preserve beyond death. Secret is thy name, O being called Sekhmet. At the throne of silence, even shall be no more spoken then. Encircling one, I lose myself in thee. They say, do not consume myself with fire. But I say, do consume myself with fire, because she is the Kundalini energy. That's just for white folks and stuff. They might get burned up behind this. But I changed it up. You see. So give her a good ashe. And when they say greater than Hathor and greater than Isis and greater than Bast, it just means that she is all forms of these particular entities, because she's one of the pre-dynastic deities that has no birth record as far as they can't trace her origin. It is very old. It is very old and stuff. Also, you want to, whenever you do the whole menstrual thing, you need to get you some incense, some dragon's blood. Very key, because dragon's blood is basically, the dragon, Alpha Draconis, is the great mother, and also she's a symbol of also the dragon. Dragon blood is real powerful, that you want to deal with stuff, especially on your cycle, but also with the feminine energy also. Just period. You want to deal with some dragon's blood. But we will leave this particular one behind for you, for the ones that just have to get this. Sekhmet.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again?
Sekhmet. 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 Any Egyptian Kemetic book will give you what you need. Also, now, for the sisters who didn't get this and all, basically, let's go through this one again. Based on the love ritual. Several factors go up in this. Number one, it's going to be kind of hard to get a brother that don't really like you. This is the one where this is not for. This one is not necessarily for. This one is not necessarily to put some person under your spell in that aspect. This is a person, he likes you, but he's got issues in the aspect that he's indecisive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a little lukewarm and stuff. You just want to curve his, give him a little attitude adjustment. So basically, you're just pointing this person in the right way. You know what I'm saying? So you know how you have a person that like you and stuff, but based on whatever little thing they got now, they don't want to commit or they don't want to do this kind of thing here. So basically, what this does is it works on a person who basically somewhat desires you in some type of way. So if he don't have too much desire, it's gonna be kind of hard and stuff, like the gay guy say, I can't work miracles. Like the gay hairdresser, I can't work miracles. But the key here is it is for that particular, it is for those particular people who need just an attitude adjustment. The brother's halfway there, the brother's halfway there. Now, a couple of things about the ritual. The ritual works about a good 3 months. Let's say, so if he's crazy and deranged, you only have to go and hide for 3 months. Then it kind of wears off. Now, why is this? This is just to change the attitude of the person. And over the course of 3 months after it wears down, if he's basically that indecisive or basically just don't want to be locked in, it's going to wear off in 3 months. And so after a result, that gives him an escape route. You see what I'm saying? You don't end up with a person, you know what I'm saying, that's all screwed up for the rest of your life. And also, you might not like it. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what might happen. His big toe might be gone. Or who whatever the deal is and all. You know what I'm saying? You might fart one too many times for you, whoever. Eat shit off the floor and stuff. But anyway, this gives you an escape route because it will come and it will work about 3 months, and then after 3 months, you see if it's enough to him to focus and stuff, and it don't take that long to fall in love, You know what I'm saying? It don't take that long, especially for the sister and all. It don't take 2 weeks and shit. like Chris Rock said, you just go out and eat lunch. She be like, why are we bullshitting? Let's get married. Goddamn, I just ate a damn Reuben on ride. Shit. She's like, why are we bullshitting? So you all are quick to deal with that type of stuff now. But y'all close to that feminine energy and all, so you can make that time. We are further away, so therefore it takes us a little time. So basically, like I said, in the 3-month period and stuff, in 3-month period, in 3-month period, you can have an escape route. So this is not necessarily to put somebody under your spell. So you have just a slave, or then open up something where you can't get nothing off, and this guy here, is obnoxious and stuff. You can't get rid of him and shit. So basically, this is what this is for also. So basically, this is 1-2 Oshun, and you get a bottle, a clear bottle, and basically you take honey and put in the bottle, halfway into the bottle. Fill the bottle halfway full. Then you take I would prefer a yellow piece of paper and all, something like this, because she likes a golden yellow. Oshun, O-S-H-U-N. Is that it? Yeah. And basically, O-S-H-U-N. And basically, you will what you will do is you will basically write her name at the top of a strip about as big as a ticket, something like this. A strip, and you write her name at the top, Oshun. Then you write the brother or the sister name. It works on the sister too, because brothers need help too. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's a purification. All these damn women out here can't get nobody, and you can't get a doggone woman. You don't need no honey. You need a fucking psychiatrist. Know what I'm saying, though? Because ugly niggas can walk around these days pimping and shit. Talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like in New York, it was. At first, it was. Do you have a good paying job? Then that thing went down to, do you have a job? Then it went down to, do you have a car? No, I ain't got none of them things. Okay, we can improvise and all. It got so bad, no job, okay, we might can work with that. No car, okay, we might can work with this mass transit up here in New York, you don't really need a car and all. Then it went to are you married and stuff, and all? No, we can even work with that. Then it went down. And then it got so bad until now they go, are you crazy? Motherfucker ain't crazy, we might be able to work. That's it, that's the criteria now. Are you crazy? I got a friend who's up there, I called Azariah, I said, damn, Azariah, there's a brother named Azariah, he had me come to speak. So that's the criteria now. If the brother ain't deranged, what they call bipolar. That's the new word for it. Bipolar is you on one pole one time and then you might have a Big Mac or something, the pole shift. The motherfucker just be in left field and shit. That's the range. That kind of thing, If he ain't bipolar, but that damn pole just shift on your ass. And then you say, where did this nigga come from? Some Mr. Hyde shit. You might be alright. So now it's with this nigga ain't bipolar, we might be able to work and stuff, you see. But so it's that bad. So now. So one of the keys here is so you write the brother's name on the piece of paper. On the piece of paper. Or the sister. You see what I'm saying? Or the sister. Some people say, well, why we got to go through that? Because what it is, a lot of sisters saying, no, there's a limited amount of men, but there's a limited amount of conscious men. Right. And it's a big problem. It's a real big problem because you get into consciousness, and then the brother starts feeling a little inferior, because you into something and all, and he starts talking shit about it, and all, and then he starts trying to make up some ways of how he can beat you. You know what I'm saying, and all? So he has no idea that you're trying to do some stuff on a high level and all. So he start quoting some 500 basketball. Well, I have to tell you how many points Jordan made today, and don't have no idea that this has nothing to do with no competition based on some intellectual ability and stuff. So he might be inferior based on that. This is a lot happening. But on the other hand, it's real big in the cities and stuff because you got a lot of sisters that's more locked into that religion. And so the brother might be doing a certain thing, and she's gravitating this way. Like somebody, and so like one guy said, oh, but man, you are the straight up devil to my wife, man. He said, I put your cake on. She run in the other damn room and lock the room. Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, Jesus, Lord Jesus, Jesus, Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, 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 Lord Jesus, 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 Lord Jesus, 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 that kind of stuff. But so she run in the room and said, he said, man, you the devil. You the damn devil and all. So you might have one of those kind of people and all. So you got this battle going on in the conscious community. So if you got some straight Negro around here, you're a little conscious and stuff, and you walk around, you want to kind of lasso his ass in a little bit, whatever type thing. Now you don't have that problem. I don't see why it should be that kind of problem with the brothers. I mean, God, dog. I mean, I'm saying it's almost. I counted about 11 million damn black women that can't find nobody. So I mean, you don't need no ritual. You need a psychiatrist. You can't get nobody, But anyway, so let's go back to this. The name on the piece of paper, Oshun. Write the brother's name down. Then you write. You put love, attraction, and passion. Do it that way. Love, attraction, and passion up under his name. And then you take it. Now make sure it's a permanent marker. When you do it, make sure it's a permanent marker, because when you put it in honey, you don't want it to fade and shit. And you come in something make it looking like the Blob or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or some invisible man and all. Shoot. You might get the ghost of George Washington running after you and shit. But anyway, so you put it in some. So you're gonna put it in a permanent tip marker. Don't get one that you can write clearly. And do it and print it. Because I'm quite sure they can't read half people writing any damn way. You know what I'm saying? So let me write all that shit in cursive and all like that. So you might get some Russian nigga coming up to you and all. But anyway, so you want to write his name, like love, attraction, and passion on the strip. There was when I was in Cleveland, there was a woman about 70, man. She had a nigga up in that baby. I think he had to be no more than 40. She was like, hey, that's goddamn honey. She was like, hey, that honey. She was like, she said, hey, honey. And she said, we get busy. He was about 40. She was like, hey. And she was on the money. Look at this Negro right here. He ain't up about 39 or 40. She was about 70, boy. So I said, you had some of that. You didn't have none of that cheap honey there. You had some of that shit that looked like sugar almost.
Raw honey.
Raw honey. You had an upgraded, So so you take it and you put the honey, you put that in the bottle. You put the thing in the bottle with the name, and you make sure that it's encased in the honey. So you can get a little stick or something, put it in there to make sure it's encased in that honey. Then you take it to running water. Take the bottle to running water, like a little river or whatever. Take it to the running water, and basically you take it and you take a little bit of honey and pour out the bottle in the water. Then you cap the bottle. No, you pour the honey in the bottle, out the bottle, into the water. And you go, Oshun, Osho. What will be, will be. And then you cap the bottle and throw the bottle in the river. And whatever the deal is, throw the bottle in the river. But I think that these spirits have a mind of their own. So if the brother is unattainable, it's highly unlikely that you're going to get something like that, you see. So it has to be in reason. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So don't do the shit on no Michael Jordan, nobody like that and all, It has to be in reason and all, you know what I'm saying? I want some Tiger Woods. You know what I'm saying? Which wouldn't be a bad idea and all. He running around with these white girls and stuff like this and all, but But you know how that is and all. He's an idiot, so. But anyway, we want to go into a question and answer right quick before we get the ball rolling. Because we got a lot of stuff to cover and all. First of all, like I said, this book, if you can, we try to also locate out-of-print books, but I'm trying to say this is one of the books that's a must-have if you can get it. It's probably going to cost you a pretty penny. It's called The Black Goddess and the Unseen Real by Peter Redgrove. This is one that has the word Mary Lucifer in it. Peter Redgrove, The Black Goddess and the Unseen Real. So this is one of the ones that you want to get. There's it's Peter Redgrove, Redgrove. He also, but the book that's in print is The Wise Wound, which is dealing with the mysteries of minstrel. Which for some reason they didn't want to put this book out. It's real popular, everybody's built it out, but they didn't want to put the book out for some reason. But they finally put the book out at the first of 2000, so that is back in print. Peter Redgrove and Penelope Shuttle, The Wise Wound. But this is the one, The Black Goddess and the Unseen Real. You can probably find some of these books in a thing called www.bibliofind.com. I think, yeah, www.bibliofind.com. And some brothers from Tallahassee, from FAMU, hit me to the particular site. So maybe you might be able to find that they have all kind of book search. Some just cost you a pretty penny. Some is pretty reasonable. Some is pretty reasonable and all this type of stuff. But let's go into a question and answer right quick, because I want to, because some people have a tendency to leave or whatever. We be here all day, but want to go into a question and answer right quick to deal with some stuff. What's that, brother?
What's going on with this West Nile disease?
Good question, because they when it happened in New York about 2 years ago in 1999, and they dropped the whole melathion stuff. Whatever this stuff is, Curtis Cost did a whole thing on what this thing does, changes the molecular structure of the body and all that. But in so many words, the brother Alvin here sent me a piece off of the internet that was talking about how the government is basically, with the chemtrails, is basically dropping stuff in the air to directly stop the evolution of the people to the another paradigm, or the next stage of evolution, in this case, back to the Godhead. So they was actually doing it, and so there's a lot of stuff on the internet like that, as if to say, are your skies really blue? In Atlanta, it's not a real pretty blue. It's always kind of lightish, bluish, grayish blue, but not that deep blue. So that means in actuality, we're just living on a big bubble. You see, a big bubble. So, so we know that the melathion has to be this stuff that they're dropping has to be in direct relation to that, because one sister said that they dropped it in LA in 1984. They had this stuff out. In 1984, they dropped it in LA during the Olympics. And she said she was pregnant at the time. Well, she wasn't pregnant, she had just had a child, and she was breastfeeding, and her milk was green. Looked like green mucus. You see, so then I knew it was going to come down to Atlanta. So all of a sudden they announced, Friday or Thursday, that this woman died from West Nile, 71-year-old woman. And so they're just pumping this stuff, but I know Atlanta is very key. You see, it's very key. And I know, basically due to me, because like I said, they rolled and shut down all of the metaphysical bookstores down there. You see. And, in metaphysical bookstores, plus the CDC is in Atlanta. So this whole West Nile thing, and it's amazing how our people are affected by the news. Because I'm already hearing people in the public talking, the mosquitoes. I'm like, come on now. Shit, you go to South Carolina, it's mosquito haven. The state is a big swamp. There's all down there mosquitoes, so everybody in the state of South Carolina is supposed to be dead. But everybody's all, and I was even on the plane yesterday, them mosquitoes. So you can tell that basically the people will follow whatever the hell they want them to follow, and they can drop what they want to drop. So in so many words, we know that this thing is trying to stop the rising of the Kundalini, the Shakti power. You see, we know that it's trying to stop that. So this whole melathion stuff. But even the West Nile translated, it just means black people in America, or black people in the diaspora from the Caribbean on up. Why? Because that is the West Nile. Now they have a Nile River in Jacksonville, Florida. The St. John's River is also the only other river other than the Nile River in Egypt that runs upstream. You see. that runs upstream. The Moors was called in the Mississippi River, and I'm quite sure it has a great ancient source to it. But the river that runs upstream, just like the one in Kemet, Egypt, or Kemet, is the St. John's River. Now I happen to know that Jacksonville, Florida is 98% water, and they purposely pollute this river so that the people's energy won't rise. And this is the interesting stuff. Because there were some brothers down there. The brothers down there in Jacksonville, the conscious brothers, was calling themselves the Brothers of the West Nile back in 1994. And they say they spiritually came up with it. The Brothers of the Western Nile. They understood about the St. John's River. But it was interesting because before I went to speak in Jacksonville, one of the brothers in Atlanta said, your energy is going to rise in Jacksonville, near the river. He didn't know anything about it. And when I got down there, the brothers were saying, this is the only other river in the world that runs upstream.
Bobby, also in the middle of the downtown, I think it's the tallest structure, is a big black obelisk.
Obelisk, yeah. Plus, and so it's interesting because the whole city is run by this Baptist type church, which is the front. There's some advanced witches behind it. And even Elijah Muhammad went down there in the 60s and said, hey, wait a minute, some Islam or anything conscious will never flourish here. And it was years later, only into the Afrocentric movement and only into this thing that it started really flourishing. And it was interesting because when I went there, I went to bed that night, my Kundalini energy shot up. And they purposely pollute the river. People say, you really can't swim up in there. But what happened was we did a nice ritual down there and we saw all this algae get on the river. That means that the river was cleansing itself. Around the same time the Dogon did the Sirius ceremony back in 1994. So these brothers call themselves the Brothers of the West Nile. And I said, okay, then the Western Nile has to be the prophecy in which the Egyptians said in the Hermetic material that there will be some Egyptians in the West that will bring forth Maya. Then all of a sudden you get this West Nile virus. But then again, on the other hand, in some of information they call melanin a virus. Because the white boys call it the Dracula particle. But if you're watching the vampire movies, they talk about you get the virus based on the whole vampire thing. You see. But they call it the Dracula particle. You see. And that, they had the whole thing in Blade that went down, and she was trying to solve it with the sickle cell and all of that. So you have they say in this virus, we also know that they deal with that with melanin, and also in the movie Matrix. The guy said, when he was talking to Morpheus in the building when they had Morpheus all chained up, he said, I know what you are. You all are like a virus. But he wasn't talking to the other, he was talking to the black man. Remember in the movie, the woman said, no, it is Morpheus. Without Morpheus, we are all lost. You see what I'm saying? So in so many words, Morpheus was a form of the Osiris, of the Messiah too. In mythology, you get Orpheus, you get Morpheus. Morpheus means God of the dead. Shiva, God of sleep. Shiva means God of sleep. And Shiva in India is the Messiah. So Morpheus is a form of the Horus also. Horus rides a ship called Heru Bahutit, of the Bahutit, the Hadid disc, or the Bahutit disc. Well, he had a ship called Nebuchadnezzar. All this stuff is so in so many words. They focused on Neil, but that was the decoy because Morpheus was the one that was basically the one that, you know what I mean? Neil was just the doggone helper. He was like the, he was like the little hitman, but he's working for the doggone the Godfather. So they said they call it a virus also in the movie The Matrix. But it's West Nile virus. So what is the virus? The virus has to be us. And melathion is just another pesticide, if you want to call it, to kill off a human strain of that Godhead. You see, they ain't fooling nobody. I said, well, if it comes to Atlanta, that's what I know. Now Atlanta is fucking landlocked. You can't even run your water some days. You can get a fine for running your water down there. You know, when you want to water in your grass, when they had a lot of rain this year, so they eased up. But mostly in the summer, you got days that you got to water your grass because Atlanta is landlocked. No water, no damn well, but a little Chattahoochee River. But the point I'm trying to make, all of a sudden, it's like it's the biggest swamp in the world. They got West Nile there, but here it is. South Carolina next door is completely underwater damn near. And they got most amount of black people in the continental United States live in South Carolina. And so if this thing was transported by Africans, you know damn well South Carolina would have it. In Georgia, there's only one thing. One thing you know about Georgia. They only got one place where black people are centrally located. That's Atlanta. Outside of Atlanta, it's 100%, 98% Crackerville. So this whole West Nile thing they talking about here, you know it's talking about us because in a state that damn they got one little piece of beach right at the corner of it. Near Savannah, no way in hell it's going to look like it's a swamp where the mosquitoes are killing, and South Carolina next door is up underwater. You see what I'm saying? What's that?
And you know what, Bobby? And the only way you can have a large gathering of mosquitoes, the water has to be stagnated. If the water moves, mosquitoes don't hover.
And you know the funny part about it? Now, we had a drought for the last 3 years.
That's what I'm saying. That's weird.
But see, this is how they do things based on the whole HARP program. All of a sudden, it started raining in the fall of the year every day. They said this is the most water we had in 3 years. And also, the only place didn't have a heat wave this summer was Atlanta, but they got the West Nile virus. You see, it's a lot of stuff going on and all, you know. Just so happened where Negroes populate, and they didn't say way down in Hogmall, Georgia somewhere. They said around Atlanta. You see, but here it is again to drop the melathion. But I'm telling you, the skies up there is damn near no blue. It's a misty bluish gray, but not that deep, you know, that deep phthalo blue or whatever. You see what I'm saying? It's never that, never real blue and all, and that's because, you know, it's constantly, all day. You see, dropping those doggone chemtrails. Now, last summer, last two summers, in order for it to make it rain, they would have 3 planes would come by and shoot across the sky. You see what I'm saying? Downtown in the central urban aspect of Atlanta, and then about an hour later it would rain. You see, an hour later it was raining. And then we see things like one day they had the complete square and compass, the Masonic square and compass in the sky. You see. But it's the CDC down there, you know what I'm saying? And guess who works mostly for the CDC? Black high school children. Yeah, it's the strangest thing.
What do they do?
And that's what I want to know. Basically taking half the fucking pills and shit. And the guinea pig stuff. Experiment. See, I wouldn't have known it. But the time when our car was broke down, we had to take MARTA. That's the rail thing, means moving Africans rapidly through Atlanta. You see? You know, moving Africans rapidly through Atlanta. MARTA, that's the transit system. So we had to take MARTA. So what happened was we went up Buford Highway one night, and we had to pass by the CDC, you know, and all these high school kids would get on.
It's a transportation thing.
No, the CDC is the Central Center for Disease Control. And all these high school children, black children, all black. Now they're working in one of the most technological advanced systems of medicine, warfare, germ warfare in the world. And these wasn't no keen damn high school shooters either. These was some niggas that shit. You know, we probably have to pull out some IQ tests on the damn bus to see what these niggas confident. To cross the street.
They working for the CDC.
But they was working for the CDC. These niggas so good, they got a whole new language. You gotta translate that shit. You better get you a translator from those. It's a whole new language and stuff. It ain't no, just no regular slang no more. That shit is just gone. Only thing you hear is dog and shout it and dog.
Yeah.
Shout, dog.
Yeah.
Morris Code talk. These motherfuckers was working in the CDC top level. You see. You know what I'm saying? But they're working up in there. So they must be taking half the damn drugs. You see, guinea pig. Carriers or whatever type stuff. But they're high school children.
That's so sad.
Ain't that something? You get off from school, high school, and you go to the biggest disease center in the country, or damn near in the world. You know what I'm saying? Nigga can't get a job at McDonald's, but damn near they up in this thing here. And I'm talking about dozens of them. Literally, just tons of them, whole bus full. I'm like, look at this shit right here. So we just talking about germ warfare on a high level. So this whole breaking out in Atlanta, you see, it's the same thing that's going on. But there's a whole bunch of stuff on the internet on this malathion, and all. So it's the same thing, the West Nile thing. What's that?
I just wanted to ask a question about those fires. I know a lot of people know they were going to burn 15 years.
Yeah.
But after that, you know what he said about that? Because I had some tapes, but they're real hard to hear.
Yeah. Well, it's also in
50 years ago.
It's also in the Fall of America. About burning them to 15 years. Burning the 15 years. And so when a lot of them started in the early 90s. The early 90s and stuff, I'll say, well, damn, there was those fires, but
They got 23,000 people working on it right now.
but see, yeah, they got something, but it's the key, but
23,000 people on fire.
it's key because Ginger, my ex, said that them fires been burning ever since she was a little girl, and she was 20 when I met her. You see what I'm saying? So 15 years, hell, she said ever since she was a damn child or damn near baby, them fires been burning out there. So it's amazing how they have technology where they just don't report certain things happening. You know what I'm saying? Right now, for fire burn, if you got a little forest burn here, they don't report it around the world. We wouldn't know in Atlanta. So they're saying, but by the time I met her in '93 when we thought it had started up, and she said, and she had counted at least 10 years. You see what I'm saying? So we talk.
They're getting worse.
It's amazing, it's getting worse. And Honorable Elijah Muhammad said something about it would burn for 15 years, he said, in the Fall of America. And also, he might have mentioned it in the Theology of Time, if you can still get it. But I know it's in the Fall of America, the book, The Fall of America. Yeah. And he said it would burn for 15 years, and then he said right after that, basically the mothership. He goes into this whole mothership thing. You see what I mean? But that has a lot also to do with this rising of Horus or Heru Behutin. It's on a whole nother level. The ship is actually the seed that's inside of you. What I call the Bindu seed and all this type of stuff here. That's the ship, the disc. It's the inner, and basically it's nothing but the illumination of your soul. So he talks about that aspect. But it's in Fall of America. It's one of those. Give me some questions. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's that?
There's a school here that you're trying to build on a toxic waste site. And you have some parents who are, they're demonstrating for them not to build a school on the toxic waste site.
Yeah.
But they, there was a workman that said he was working on the site, and a neighbor said that a fire. It took them like 7 days to put a fire out on that site, but they still insist on building the school on top of this, on top of all these toxins here.
Yeah.
The new, I think it's the New Beard Elementary.
Well, it's interesting because in South Carolina, in Columbia, South Carolina, they got a whole brand new apartment complex that opened up about 2 years ago. And it's all on the whole toxic waste site. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like I say, over and over, the ongoing thing. Over.
Black folk live in there, right?
Yeah, oh, you know that. You know that. Tell them they can move in with bad credit, and I don't care how many people they done shafted. You know, anytime the white boys start giving out good, stuff with, tell them you can move in, and you done left a lot of people behind from rent. You know doggone well that there's some trouble that's coming down. Any more questions? Any other questions? Yeah, what's that?
Can you repeat that age of Aquarius is in?
Oh yeah. Well, I believe it started in the 90s because I'm going by basically the calendars. We got several calendars. We got some African calendars that say 1990 was the millennium. You got the Dogon talks about 1994. Then you have you even have your Chinese. It's been a millennium for them at least about 3-4 years. Then you have come to find out the Dogon did another Sirius ceremony, the sacred dance, this April 23rd. At the same time they was doing the Sirius ceremony, they had the big summit in Canada and had all those people picketing. You see, with Bush and all that type of thing. So, believe me, if we gotta wait on any other age to come, if this thing don't jump off soon, we might as well just pack it on in. You know what I'm saying? Because